and welcome to the Glow Up Method. This is the place where we talk all things about personal transformation, personal growth, self-love, worthiness, deserving, like empowerment, learning, like practicing new behaviors and trying to adapt them into your own life and lifestyle. My name is Natasha. I will be your host today, and I'm so excited to be here. Okay, I am literally, my watch is dead even. That is how close I'm cutting it to the edge. It's 11:50 p.m. So I go into these things here. I've had this day, right? My son had to go to a physical, and my drive home from the gym today took 2+ hours. Yes, I say that again. 2+ hours. I was in my car longer than I was at the gym because they're doing major construction. So while it is an inconvenience today, I'm sure once the roads are repaired, that 2 hours will gladly come back to me in the form of less traffic. But for now, that was definitely unexpected. And I didn't put on my mapping thing because I thought, what the heck do I need my mapping thing, at 7:30 p.m. I know where I'm going. Big mistake, huge, but it really wasn't. I actually was like, okay, well, let's just do this. Let me sit here and listen to myself, because every one of the videos you've watched, I've rewatched with you. So again, it's given me this, like I said here, it's this life in review, like a film review of your life. First off, there could be a drinking game and somebody would be inebriated with the amount of likes I said today. I just have to laugh. I mean, I can't go back in time and change it. I could sit there and try to figure out how to edit out, but this is who I am. And I'm not even sure if I still say that many likes. If I do, I'm sorry. It must just be my California girl in me. I don't know. Like, oh my God, like gag me with a spoon. I don't know. It was part of the vocabulary that was like, and the like is to from. So if you're not a liker of likes, well, this is probably not the channel for you. Or at least that day wasn't for you. So anywho'svilles, I used to listen to myself in regular speed. But I think it was the last week or so, I was like, what the heck? I listened to everybody else in 2x speed. Why am I listening to myself? Like I said, there was a couple times, but granted, I was also doing it 2, 3 in the morning. I fell asleep. I was like, okay, that's a bad sign when I put my own self to sleep. And sometimes I'm like, blah. Okay, so my son is a streamer, and there's this guy that comes in. I'm gonna confess, I go in, I enjoy watching him. I feel like I gotta let it go. Yes, I know. I haven't spent way too much time, just making sure he doesn't get canceled, isn't saying anything stupid, isn't doing anything stupid, and then just trying to gauge his gameplay, like trying to, understand this aspect. Like I said, I enjoy watching my kids, but there's this kid that comes in, and I'm going to call him kids, and my son is always very adamant that we are not kids, because I guess for him, a kid is, I don't know, 10 and under. And I was like, no, to me, you are all kids. Like, 30 and under, you're a freaking kid for me, okay? So there's this kid, and I don't know, it could literally be a 50-year-old man. I have no clue, but in my mind, they're all kids, right? So this kid that comes in, he doesn't speak English, but he comes in and watches the stream, and he has this, like, yapping little emoji that goes in, like, because my son's yapping, he doesn't know what the heck he's saying, but he's, I guess, enjoying the gameplay, and he sometimes is chatting with some people that speak Spanish in the chat, but he always has this, like, yappy thing. So every time I think of somebody yapping, including myself, which is often, I've gone from this role of being this listener my whole life into like, now I am this little yappy character. So like, as I'm talking and falling asleep, I just see this little yappy thing. So Freddie, hi, I'm exposing myself. Yes, I sit and watch my son stream. I am that mom, okay? I'm not, no judgment. I think some things are quite funny. It definitely is so interesting. And then I was like, I never understood how people would just sit there and watch somebody, but I kind of get it now. So, kudos to them. Actually, extra kudos to them for supporting my child in his pursuit of making his dreams. And it's pretty cool because he never wanted to stream. It just was this thing that everybody was telling him in order to get to the next phase. It's part of the game nowadays. And, that's where the money comes from and, advertisers. And so I get it. And he was so resistant. It was like next week, next time, this time. He had all these reasons why he wouldn't do it. And I can't even be mad about it. Hey, hello, I have 8 months of stuff taped in here, and I didn't publish them either. So I get it. He had his own valid reasons. However, he's doing it now. And I appreciate it because they're like there on the journey. Like I said, there's maybe been 1 or 2 people that have said something snarky or mean. But overall, most of these people are saying really nice things. And they're coming in and using their time to sit there and watch him play a game. Now, granted, maybe they're watching a game too or eating their dinner. I don't know what they're doing on the sidelines. But I just think it's really, really just fascinating how you can develop this community and how these people come consistently to support them and, give ideas about different formations or different cards or, just give a different perspective when he's down, offer suggestions, tell him to take a break, tell him to eat, so I'm really appreciative of this community. Like, I feel like I can safely be like, okay, you're fine here or whatever, even though, Freddie is saying he's yapping in there, and he is, right? He is my child, but he doesn't yap as much like me. It's a different kind of yap. He is way more mellow and chill than I am, but I say all that to say, so I sat there listening myself for 2 hours on regular speed, and I was like, you know what? Props even more to my loyal fan out there because, that's a lot. That's a lot of me time, and I just, kind of giggle and I think about it, and this, I literally can't. My stuff. I don't even know where it is. I cannot even. I have to get it. I'm gonna be right back. So we've talked about synchronicity. Hello, I'm back again. So anyways, okay. So I'm listening to this video, right? I'm driving, so I'm not watching, but I'm listening. And then it starts talking about how I like sparkle and I was going to look for this phone case, right? And the next thing you know, I glance over and I see I'm lifting up the frickin' sparkled up case. And I just went to go grab my little gym bag. And in my gym bag is sparkly phone case. My friend at the gym was like, oh, I just did my own and I'm so upset because it was all crooked. I'm like, I told you for like a year now that I did my own, because everybody asks, did I do my water bottle? And I'm like, no, I did a phone case once. I probably spent so much money and 100 hours of my time. I will never do something like that. If I want bling, I will fork out the money and buy it from somebody else who has put it on. It is well worth it for me. But I said, I will show you tomorrow. I will bring my case so you could see that I did it. So I bring this, and of course, here looks pretty great. You can't really tell because I could see on the thing, you couldn't tell. But then over here, everything had kind of melted. And she's like, oh, this is why I didn't do it. It came out good. I'm like, so I don't even have a phone that fits this, but I'll be darned if I am getting rid of this. And even the funny thing is so this video from 8 months ago comes up. I have never since pulled this sucker out, and I pulled it out to bring it to the gym, and there it was sitting next to me, and there it was on the video. And I was like, whoa. And then the video was talking about synchronicity, and I was also talking about Tutti Frutti popcorn, and all of a sudden yesterday there was some pink popcorn on the floor. I'm like, who the hell had pink popcorn in here? So granted that was yesterday, this is today, but here we are, just such a random event of things, and it means zero in the scheme of life, or not. Does it mean something? I don't know. But I just have to say, sometimes life does some crazy stuff. And you're like, is this a coincidence? So don't know. Just an interesting side fact. So I'm listening to myself in there. That happens. So I was like, okay, great. When I get home, I can, go ahead and do my run, finish my steps, do my recording. And here it was. It was 9:36 p.m. And it's well past my eating hours, right? I usually eat 1 to 9 p.m. But my daughter she was like, I'm loving a crock pot. She pulled out the crock pot today. And it's fall. It's appropriate time to pull out a crock pot. And she had never used one. And she made this tortilla soup. And it was really smelled so delicious in there. And I had a really hard workout. And like I said, it was a hard workout. However, it's very modified because I'm injured. So if there's something I believe will irritate it, or if I do it and it starts irritated, I just kind of modify and you just dance my own, do something differently. So all of a sudden I felt really hungry when I started to smell that. And I stood there and I had the decision. And I like to say this because I talk about my intermittent fasting. And one of the things that I love about intermittent fasting is the flexibility of it. There is no hard set rules. There is no, I can't do this. It's all a choice. And so today when I walked in and it smelled really good and suddenly I felt hungry, I was like, I'm not going to torture myself. I know if I go to sleep, I do my work, I do my running, I'm not going to be hungry. I'll be busy doing things, but I wanted to eat. And so I had a bowl of the soup and cracked up some chips and put in some sour cream and cheese. And it was really, really good. And I felt really, really nurtured. I felt really like not deprived. I felt really like supported, and it actually bursted me with so much energy where I was feeling a little bit sluggish and tired, and it was protein packed with the chicken and the beans and the cheese and everything, and I was something I really needed, and I listened to my body, and it didn't matter that it was past the time. And so I like to say, like, have flexibility. Meet you where you are in each day. Just because that's the general rule that you have imposed on your life, it doesn't mean it needs to be every day. There are days that for me, there's days I choose not to go to the gym because I'm recovering from an injury. And again, and the irony there too is like different thing. I had some kind of like a rib injury or something in there, and I was like, man, I apparently get injured a lot. Like, and I had an arm injury. I was like, oh my gosh, girl's going through it lately, and in the past, I was like, this is so like deja vu over here, different injuries, but like still. Which again emphasized the point that I am probably taxing my body a little bit. I'm really like maximizing and in a way almost like making up for lost time because I did so little for so long, and I'm loving it, that I'm pushing myself a little bit too hard by incorporating I was doing fine when I was just doing my Javier classes, but when I started incorporating the other classes on Saturdays and Sundays, which were previously my rest days, I still walked, or jogged, but they weren't the high cardio, high, impact kind of movements that I do in those dance classes. So incorporating the other ones was great because I got to get to know my Pleasanton community a little bit more, and it was just something that really made me feel well at the time, but it made me also see now that was what was happening back then, and then I backed off, but then I brought it back again, and then again. So I just have to be more conscious and selective and smart about the classes I'm taking. It doesn't mean that I can't take my classes. It means that I need to be a little more strategic and aware that there are some underlying, physical things that are still going on. It's the aftermath. Like, people are like, what happened? What happened? I was 300 pounds for 20 years. Like, what happened is I neglected my body for a long time, and my body, like my son was saying, Mom, you lost me. That's like me, hanging on your back right now and always being there. I'm like, yes, I lost an entire teenage boy. That's crazy. And I know I didn't lose it. I released it. If I lost it, then it's like, I need to go looking for it because, whatever. So I get it. I released the, teenage boy off my back. And so of course, right, there are some things that are healed, right? No high blood pressure, no high cholesterol, no pre-diabetes, no more fatty liver disease, no PCOS, all these things that I had acquired because of my lifestyle, these health, I don't know what you want to call them, diseases. I don't know what they're classified as, but whatever, these ailments, whatever it was, those have all resolved. And some of my physical ones have as well. However, some have had such a significant damage that perhaps the damage is going to be there for a long time. And so, my hip thing has been a chronic issue. And I think it was a combination of the weight, and I still carry, I have a lot of, my waist is very tiny, but the lower part carries a lot of the skin. Like, it's literally skin and tissue. It looks like maybe I have a belly, but like technically I do, but it's just skin. I mean, it's like that, it's skin. It's the aftermath. And I cannot look at it with disgust or upset. Like, I am so proud of the person that was able to carry all that plus all that weight inside. And I'm proud of me. It's like a battle wound. It's part of me. I've carried 4 kids as well in this body, and I've done amazing things with this body. I've helped save people's lives with this body. Like, I've nurtured people with this body, and yeah, there is an aftermath. And that means that maybe I am not, your typical, Sports Illustrated cover model. Like, boo, oh no, like, that's okay. I'm totally me, and I'm really, really proud of it. Like I say all the time, that's the beauty of it. Somebody else could always be this size, right? Or be smaller and suddenly be my size, or have my body and be disgusted and say like, oh, I'm fat. Oh, I have this and this. But when you come from where I've come to this, girl, are you kidding me? Like, that version looking at me, like, if that version that day just had like a split second to see in the future and the mirror just showed this, girl would have had a heart attack. Like, girl would have just laid down and said, no humanly possible way is that possible. She would have probably thought, oh, she definitely got surgery. She definitely used the medication. She definitely is on diets, and all 3 of them above. Like, there's no way there's just no way. And so I'm proud to say, yes, there is a way. Like, it is possible, because I just didn't see that either. I much was like everyone else and believed the hype and thought that there was something like extravagant. You had to be spectacular for something. No, you don't. You don't have any, you don't have to spend a dang dime, like, you don't. So that's why I like to say, when it comes to any kind of intermittent fasting journey, it's okay. It's not set in stone. You want to go to the party, go to the party. You want to go to brunch with a friend, go to brunch with a friend. You come home feeling hungry after the gym and sitting in the car for 2 hours in traffic, eat. It's not going to change anything in the scheme of life. And I get it. In the beginning, for me, it was really important to set that habit, to set that expectation, to set that foundation that this is the time to eat and this is the time not. Because there wasn't that confidence. There wasn't that sureness of it all that knew that I would go back, that, that today it's 10:30 and I'm eating, and then tomorrow will be 10:45 and, we'll just start again next week. I didn't know that. So for me, it was really critical to be very, very diligent in the beginning and set that without any deviations of it. And again, it took into a conversation with my son Dylan, where he came in and it was like, we smelled the popcorn. It's summertime, kids are eating it, or maybe it was COVID time still, I don't know. But kids are eating all hours of the day, and I'm pretty good until it comes to a smell. Once I start to smell it, my body is like, I'm hungry too, or I want some, and so that's when I'm not hungry, but suddenly I become really like I'm much better now. But, on occasion I'll be like, I'm hungry. And so, having that, and when he came in and he was like, I just feel so sad. Like, I feel so sad because you can't eat. Of course, I don't want my son to feel sad. And it had this full on epiphany in that second, like, no, don't be sad for me. Like, it's okay. I can eat. Like, the fridge isn't locked. The cabinets aren't closed. Like, I can pull anything out and I can eat it. I'm choosing to not eat in these times because I really like how it makes my body feel. It's not about any of the weight loss. While that was one of the major deciding factors to try this lifestyle, and I don't know what to accredit the exact result to, beyond the fact of that there's consistency. I made the decision to start and I followed up with it every day, especially on the days when I didn't want to. especially on those days, because that's when it was the most challenging, right? So, like I said to him, I'm choosing this lifestyle, and I'm choosing this because I really like it. I love the fact that I don't have IBS anymore. I love the fact that I'm really regular. Like it's like a clock. You're every morning, good morning, that you want to know that. But from somebody who never experienced that in their life and had like IBS throughout the day, all day long, yet was still really big. Like, you would think, is anything even staying in? Like, not that you want to know that, but like, that was my lifestyle. That was how I lived. And then also I had chronic migraines. Now, again, could be the blood pressure, could be other things, but I really attribute to my mental clarity, my energy levels. Like, I know all of these could be because I've lost the weight. So I can't pinpoint what was it, but never was intermittent fasting, like the only option. It was like I was really hitting my health journey from multiple areas, from multiple angles, right? Because I really do believe when I go back to this story with Dylan again about the holistic healing when after his brain surgery, because I really do feel like in my heart that there is more to healing than just the physical. Physical is a huge part of it, right? But there is that mental part. There is the spiritual part. There is an emotional part. And it's all in this effort to get back to this dream of living this life that you want to live, right? So why are we going through any kind of battle or change? We have dreams. We have aspirations for something better for us. And then we're following through with it, and we're pursuing it. And there's no guarantees that we're going to get to where we want to get, but we're really growing each time we keep showing up and trying to do something else. And I don't like saying trying. I always think about Yoda, like it either is do or you don't. There is no try. So I really attempt to eliminate that try word from my vocabulary here, but it is probably after midnight now, and so the brain's not all there. But no, I mean, into the intermittent fasting thing is like the mental clarity. There have been so many benefits that I can physically feel and experience in my body, and I attribute those to the intermittent fasting for sure, 100%. I definitely believe in the benefits of it, and it's important for me, but I also want you to know too, because I never wanted to feel deprived. Like if somebody tells me I can't, it's like, why? Like, am I not worthy enough? Why can't I do this? Like, am I not a good girl? Am I not a good person? Like, I can't eat this and I can't eat at this time. Like, what did I do so bad that made it so I couldn't eat? Like, it kind of felt like a punishment. I can't go through the rest of my life feeling punished. I've already punished myself enough for the first half of my life. The second half of my life is a freaking celebration. Come on now. Like, it's your celebration. It's my celebration, because I deserve that. Like, I am a good person. I know everything that's in my heart. Was I 100% angel all the time? No, there are some things that I'm like, yikesies, I did that. I'm sorry. Like, I shouldn't have done that. I did. Oh no. Can't take it back. Can't go back in time. Yes, some things are dicey as heck, and I'm like, whoa, but other things, 99% of the things that I do, think, intend, they come with a pure, kind, generous, loving, appreciative, grateful heart. And I know that about me. And so if somebody behaves that way, do they deserve to be punished? Like, do they, not of course, if you do something bad, really bad, you gotta get punished or whatever. But I'm saying in general, like, I don't need to live my life, and nor do you, punishing yourself. I can't, and when I hear people, it like, especially I go to a gym, right? And they're like, oh, I can't eat bread, or I haven't eaten pasta in 5 years, or all these things. And I'm just thinking, my gosh, like, if you want to live that lifestyle, please, by all means, if you enjoy not eating bread and pasta and for any reason, or you have like, a gluten intolerance, whatever it is that facilitates that, I completely support. But if you're only not eating it because you're hoping to have your body look a certain way, I just feel like there's got to be another way. If we don't have to deprive ourselves, whether it be you eat it in a smaller dose, whether it be, whatever it may be. For me, what works is I can still eat my pizza when I want. Girl loves a pizza. Like, I love pizza and always have. When I was a kid, it was my favorite food. If I could only pick one more food for the rest of my life, it would be pizza. And why? Because I could have any kind of, and I don't know why. Like, I still love pizza. I don't know, like, now if that would still be the answer, maybe I'd have to, let me get back to you. But I love pizza. And on occasion, I like to take my kids, or not take them, we don't usually go into it, but like, on occasion, I want an In-N-Out burger. On occasion, although my taste buds like definitely have changed, where like that's not the like go-to meal. Like, I'd rather have something I cook at home or somebody else ideally cooks at home. Let's be real here. But it doesn't have to be about deprivation. And I think learning like what it is and how it can fit in your lifestyle. Like I've said, I make the choice that I want to eat with my kids, and it's important to me. So I've chosen my hours in which to eat based on that. It's based on my lifestyle, and knowing that it's just a choice, and that's my choice today, but it doesn't mean tomorrow I can't change the choice and say, oops, money flying around. But I can't change the choice and make my window bigger, make my window smaller. And my window start at 10, have it end at this time. So I think it's really important to listen to your body. I think it's really important to support yourself where you're at. There is nothing you have done on this earth, nothing you have done on this earth that deserves you to punish you. If you don't want to eat those things, don't eat it. Like, that, power to you. But for somebody like me who wants to eat the pasta and not sit there and calorie count and portion it out and all this stuff, it's just not, that's not fun. That's not like, and I'm not saying life is all fun, because guess what? Paying the bills isn't necessarily fun. But like, it's not, it just doesn't, it takes a piece of my soul, if that makes any sense. Like, I feel like I'm not brighter if I was like, I have to choose and I can't have a treat today and I can't have this. It doesn't mean I have one every day. And it doesn't mean, sometimes it means I'm having a handful of M&Ms and a handful of nuts and like a makeshift trail mix. Sometimes it means I'm having a protein bar. Sometimes it means I'm having a freaking piece of cake. Like, sometimes it means I'm having freaking half a pint of ice cream. Like, I don't know. Like, it just depends on the day and where I'm at. But I always am allowed to have my desserts. I'm always allowed to have a treat or a candy or whatever. There's never any, I can't. I have to wait for the weekend. I have to wait for a birthday. It's available to me if I want it. And I think that that's what makes it such a beautiful option in my life, is to have my non-negotiables, here's my 10,000 steps a day minimum, bottom line. Except for when I don't know how much I walked. First off, my watch was so confused where the heck I was. My watch was so confused what the heck day it was. So sometimes it would like, you're traveling and then it would just suddenly shift, and it was like, hold on a minute, I just had this many steps, now I have this many steps. It was so confused. I was confused. I think it took me a solid week to figure out what the heck the time was. Like, I was confused. I never did the conversion of how to figure out the money. And my son's like, are you serious right now? Like, I didn't know. I was like, the less I know, the better. Just whatever. Just put it on the card, whatever. But I say all that to say, I think it's really, really important for you to understand, and for me to remind myself that this life is a journey. It's not just about the outcome. If we're not eating the pasta or the treats just to fit in the pair of jeans, but you're freaking miserable every day, and when you put your butt in those jeans, like, you feel like you're half a person because you've sacrificed so much of yourself just to get this thing, is it gonna feel as good? I'd rather size up. I'd rather size up the jeans, feel good in it, and know like, hey dude, like, I am living my life to my best ability. I am living it up. There's nothing I can't do. I can move, I can eat, I can drink, and I can be merry. So I say all this to say, I'm so glad you tuned in. I really hope you're listening to me at 2x speed here, because, I kind of like my giggle at the 2x speed. I was like, hee. But these are much shorter. I don't know at which point that I gets to that 30-minute mark, but I myself am looking forward to it. And I feel so bad because I didn't even realize, didn't even like connect the two dots that, hey, spoiler alert, I've let a few what are they called? The cats out of the bag in my shorts, because I'm filming my shorts in real time. And, and I was like, oh my gosh, of course I did. So plot twist, spoiler alert, my goodness. But I'm so glad that you're here with me today. I am really, really delighted that you tuned in. I'm so proud of you. You don't have to intermittent fast. You don't have to do 10,000 steps a day. Nothing I say you have to do. You have to figure out what works for you. If for you, eating all day long but never having pasta is what works, go for it. I'm proud of you. It's about you living a life that you are proud of. And I support that. I support that however that looks. I support whatever you decide to walk or not to walk. And I support whatever you decide to eat or not eat. And every single thing in between, because it's your life. That's the beautiful thing about it. That's the lesson. That's the part that we need reminding of, especially as women and especially as caregivers and caretakers and empathetic people. We need to remember that this is our life. And at the end of the day, it's going to be just us. Even if people are around, it's us that has to live with the regrets or the gratitude for the experience that we've had. So I say all this to say, please go out there today, give somebody a big smile, give them a compliment, and just watch how they glow up. So thank you. Bye.